What's up, my lambs? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm faced with an invisible wall. I looked in my emails, and in my emails was a key to a game. And when I found to use that key on the Steam, I got this. An invisible wall. So, if the games come to me, I'll bring the games to you. So I did get this game for free. Let's dive on in. It's some sort of a short game, from what I understand. Visual novel. Very dark, atmospheric. Let's get into it. And don't worry, I'm telling you again, they know where you are. The end is already on the horizon. Your goal is to find happiness. Alright, well, that's our goal. Let's find happiness. I left for a business trip right after the wedding. News of the expedition came too late, and postponing it would have been inconvenient. We barely managed to move our things. They promised that here my career would finally take off, far from everyone I have ever known, apart from the closest one. The move was hard on my wife. It had never even crossed her mind that she might one day leave her home. Before the wedding, she still lived with her parents. I can't say that they had a good relationship, but they could at least coexist. And now, there's only me, in the photo. We've been close ever since she cried on the playground over a scraped back, and I, being the grown-up boy, a whole 2 years older, tried to comfort her. She was used to relying on me, saw me as an example of independence, watched every choice I made to grow up faster. Seemed like a good solution. I'm not sure how wise it really was. I didn't have much confidence, but for her, I was ready for anything. And now what? Alone in a strange city, with no experience living independently? But at some point, everyone has to start. As a kid, I could protect her from anything, but now, there are so many adult concerns. Especially because of this neighborhood watchwoman. I first heard about the organization after I moved. They were volunteers who assisted the police. I felt like this woman thrived on bad news. As soon as something happened, she'd rush from house to house, eager to share with everyone. My wife hadn't met her yet, and I hoped she wouldn't have to before my return. I always believed that it was better not to know about every misfortune in the neighborhood, especially for my wife. I tried to call her as often as possible, but there were more and more things I wanted to shield her from. The connection kept getting worse. My calls became less frequent. One evening, I barely managed to get a signal. Well, hello. Her voice sounded a little different, a bit rough and low. Well, I guess I should have changed that up. She must be feeling under the weather. Hello, how are you feeling? Oh, you're curious now? I'm always curious. That's why I call at the first opportunity. I wish I knew where these first opportunities have been slipping away lately. I'll tell you, but first, I want to hear about you. How are you doing? How are the renovations you started? What? How are the renovations and how you're doing and how the renovations you started are going? Ah, I see. She went silent. All right. I'll turn on the camera and show you. Can you see it clearly? I bought a rug. What do you think? The image was so dim and the rug and the rest of the furniture blurred into indistinct shapes. I mean, it's about communication. I can't see it clearly. I'm sure you couldn't have chosen something ugly. Brilliant at what? Trying to suck up? Maybe just a little. That's how we should have started. She's finally thawed. Where have you been? We had a minor incident at the dig site. Nothing catastrophic, but we're buried in work. At the dig site? Don't get buried at the dig site. I think for her, I can still call the incident minor. After all, no one set us on fire yet. Just threats, and no consequences. We disrupted the soil layer during the work process. This affected the aquifer. The water that comes from here is used by the local farmers for drinking and irrigation. We're figuring out what to do next. Oh, what a nightmare. There. If this description alone evokes nightmare, what of the other details? And what are you gonna do? What are you working on right now? Handling the organizational issues, talking to people is no problem, but I want to get involved with the technical tasks. Hi guys, okay. You know what? Clearly, we're the talking people. Everything will be fine soon. I hope so. I didn't know. And I'm already snapping at you. I've been so irritable lately. What happened? You didn't tell me how you are. I don't know. Since you left, I've been so touchy. And after this renovation, I'm so tired I can hardly walk and I don't feel like eating. Swollen. I don't even recognize my own voice. You should see me. I paused for a few seconds. Damn, I don't know about that. Is it just exhaustion or is something bothering her? What if the neighborhood watchwoman, the latest composite chest, has already reached her? I don't know. There you go. I need to find out as gently as possible. So maybe you'll show yourself. What does that mean? No. Don't even ask. I'm in such a state. I scare myself, all messy, sleep deprived. But at least now we have something more interesting than my disheveled head at home. Look, the little statue you said finally arrived. It's just gorgeous. Is it a replica from this dig or from a past one? From the past one. They ordered a whole batch for the artists. I wish I could see the original with you. To look at and think. My husband found this with his own hands. Too bad there's no plaque. It's a good thing there isn't. Always felt awkward when there's too much talk about me or when I'm praised. By the way, great idea. Alright. There you go. What? If you hadn't taken me on an expedition and I'd found something, I'd tell everyone about it. I guess so. But for now, I can only show you what I dug up in our little apartment. Here, a new chair. Lovely. How much is it? Though I don't recall us planning anyone. I don't know. But I'm sure it's no more, no less than any other chair. I saw it and I fell in love. I had the money, so it's fine. It was probably a little upset that she had. Well, I was probably a little upset that she hadn't consulted me. On the other hand, I hadn't called in a while. Well, in the end, I can understand her. There's real life in Napoleon's after. We were, of course, different. Oh no. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Whatever. She bought herself a nice chair. But I couldn't hold back a small reproach. Well, sometimes I feel like you haven't changed at all since school. No diving into the details. Why change? My approach works. You love solving everything, so go ahead, and I'll happily spend my time on more interesting activities. Wow. That's a... calling her a parasite's kind of crazy. Then her voice grew more serious. Why dive into things you can easily turn a blind eye to? There was some sense in that. But you know what I can't ignore? Your superiors. I found your work magazine in the closet under the boxes. By the way, the paper's just terrible. The funding for the expedition has been cut so much that from next month, they won't even pay the communications. What cheapskates? Maybe you should talk to them. I'll probably talk to them. I know it won't help, but at least they'll know they're being watched. Damn rat. You're right. Of course. Whether it'll help or not, but it's just so unfair. Don't worry. Let's focus on the renovation. Let's talk more about the renovation, honey. It's just like a whole new apartment. Got more changes in mind? This question threw her into her confusion. I guess I don't know. I wanted to change the hallway wallpaper from brown to green. Then I woke up and realized it was already green. I guess it's time to stop redecorating. Alright. Yeah. What else is on the list? You don't open the door to strangers. You don't open the door to strangers, do you? What? Are you treating me like a child? She was the first to break the silence. A strange woman came by yesterday. I didn't open it, stayed silent. She said through the door she'd come again today. Christ. I'd have sworn it was her. She probably has the picture already. The picture ready. Here it comes. Ever seen this face? Ring any bells? Like clockwork. I waited a couple of seconds. I needed to see what she'd say next. What do you think she needs? She still doesn't know. Something needs to be figured out urgently. I read that a cleaning service opened nearby with domestic staff. She's probably from there. Aggressive advertising. Advertising? I've never been good at dealing with them. I hope she gets the hint that I'm not interested and won't come back. I doubt it. I said it as gently as possible. She's knocked before. Nothing in that phrase struck my wife as surprising. Good. No cause for concern. You think so? What should I do? I knew she was upset that she wouldn't just be left alone. Yeah. What do we got? And I suggest that she talks to the visitor without asking too many questions. And I suggest she talk to the visitor without asking too many questions. Ask her politely to leave. I'm sure she'll understand. You're probably right. You do the same, I'm sure. And I believe that's the right way. Here she comes. Keeping you on the line, she won't cut us off. Just a moment. A quiet exhale, barely audible. I'll meet her. Hello? I didn't know how to tell her. Maybe I should have introduced her that volunteer after all. Perhaps then she would have seen the composite sketch sooner. Because now, the woman at my wife's door wasn't someone handing out posters. She was the woman from the poster. Oh shit. Hello? Do you need anything? My wife greeted the stranger warmly. I see you don't know who I am. I couldn't say a thing. What could I say? She's right there. Right here. And it seemed like everything was fine. Everything was going well. But if she finds out, what will she say? What if she panics? I'll wait and see how it goes. I'll wait. I don't know, but I have a guess. You're from the cleaning service? Yes, that's correct. Oh no. Why did I even come up with this? May I come in and clean? No, thank you. I don't need help. Then. The woman went silent for a couple seconds. You need to send a referral message to my boss's number. I can't process your refusal without the notification from you. Yes, okay, give me the number. Her request seemed so innocent, even to me. My wife ended our call and sent the message, but I kept watching. She dialed the first digits of the number. A suggestion from her contact appeared on the screen. Wait. Not this. Does this mean... It means... You see, sometimes this wall can be broken, even though you can't see it. Your task is to be happy, despite the fact that she'll appear again tomorrow. Are you succeeding? What do you mean? Hello, how are you feeling? I woke up in the living room to this silent call and felt a little irritated. Not only had he not called in ages, but he finally did. Just to wake me. Oh, you're curious now. I'm always curious. That's why I call the first opportunity. The call drops. It happens. What matters is, I heard him. And alone warmed, what? I heard him. That alone warmed something inside me. I just hope he didn't take my grumbling to heart. Probably used to my complaining. I was never this cranky before. He must know it's just the loneliness gnawing at my temper. I blinked around sleepily, shaking off the last scraps of restless dreams. How long had it been? Evening again? Lately, I keep falling asleep in the living room until he's back. It suits me better than the bedroom. The bedroom feels wrong. When I lived with my parents, I never had a room of my own, but they did with a massive bed. A view of the forest. I thought I was enchanted. And a painted wardrobe stretching wall to wall, hiding a whole world inside, like in a storybook. But I wasn't allowed in there. That's why I feel like a trespasser in any bedroom. The scar on my back from a belt buckle never lets me forget. To everyone else, it was just a playground accident. Even to him. Though I admit, I did think about telling him how things really were at home. Swallowing my anxiety, I went to the bedroom and looked at his photo again. Even with the new armchair didn't help. I still hate this place, but looking into his eyes helps. I've pulled the photo from this frame and so often it's worn thin. Without him, I feel frozen. Nothing moves. All this rearranging is just a way to shove my emptiness behind a new sofa. Good thing he's supposed to come back soon. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I began replaying our conversation from yesterday. His voice, his pauses, the way he gave advice. Anything that might bring him a little closer. I believed that over the years his features had etched themselves deeper into me than I realized, okay? But then suddenly, my mental reenactment stopped. Where did the end of our talk go? As if, after that woman's visit, someone vaguely familiar, someone flipped a switch. I couldn't move forward, couldn't recall a single word more. If I had been asked to speak for both of us, I would have repeated everything word for word, like a voice recorder, right up to the sudden break. How was that possible? I remember every last word. I felt uneasy. I need to focus. At first, he was telling me something about his work, something innocent, as he called it. Oh, some incident, as he called it. The smell of smoke tickled my nostrils. I got scared that something might be burning in the kitchen. After that, I showed him the rooms. Then we talked about that woman. And then she came herself. I called the police to have them tell her to stay away from me. That's it. A strange thing. What is this? Damn! What you doing here? An old woman was silent, stared with faded eyes, her mouth seeming to chew on something, no longer producing saliva, her lips dry and rough. Who are you? How'd you get here? I kept asking, raising my voice, but the unexpected guest didn't utter a sound. It seemed she couldn't hear me. Maybe I'd left the door unlocked and she wandered in by accident. The sound I heard was something like a creak in the front door. After waiting a few seconds, I realized the old woman probably didn't understand what was happening either. She stood motionless, staring straight at me. I smiled at her. Her smile in return was unsettling. But at least it was a smile. That's a bit unsettling. You got the wrong door. I spoke as loudly as I could, but there was no response. Let me help you find your apartment. Why are you yelling? And what about looking for me? Ugh. A girl suddenly appeared from deep inside the house. You talking to me? Who else am I talking to? Maybe her. Pointed at the old woman, still trying to shake off the complete confusion that has seized me. Ah, you're doing it again. Getting scared. Don't be scared. It won't hurt you. Don't be silly. I'm scared of it too when I got to the bathroom at night, but it never attacked me. I had to get it out. What? I had to get it out now so Mom wouldn't find out I've been playing everywhere. Let's go to the big room so you won't be afraid. Her matter-of-fact attempts to comfort me only made things more confusing. She pulled me by the hand. Little girl, don't touch me, or I'll have to punish you. That's a terrible line. I'm not doing that. I was so disoriented I followed her in silence. Yeah, you talking about that old woman? Ha! Granny, is it? Yeah, that's right. I call Granny it. The girl burst into inexplicable laughter. That's right. I like it that way. Well, for now, I'll have to settle for that answer. What matters more is getting the other things clear with her. What would he have done? He wasn't here. But I quickly imagined how calm he would be even now, and that calmness passed to me. There, see? There's no one here but you, me and you. Look around. All you want. Now, let's play before Mom comes. Mom comes and puts us both to bed. It won't scare us here. Who are you, sweetheart? What's your name? Ah, you don't know. Mom told you to ask questions. What? Mom told you not to ask questions like that. I'm not telling. Mom will come and explain. When will your mom be back? Soon. She's at the store. She left me in charge. She didn't want to go because you might start wandering around like this, but she got held up at the work and had to go just now. What's she doing for work? She brings order. Mom says a lot of people have time to take care of things or do it badly, so she helps them. So a cleaner. Damn it. No wonder I couldn't remember how last I ended. That woman must have done something. But the girl clearly trusted me. This is a good chance to find out everything to get out of here. What are you and your mom doing in my house? Great question. What do you mean? We live here. The girl looked at me so innocently. She really believed what she was saying. But this is my home. Surely you have a place of your own? We do. But Dad gets angry if we come there. So we're here. He says you should be taken away and left in a special place, like the others. But Mom says you never come back from there. A forest came to mind straight out of the crime report. Dense, ominous, with police and dogs combing every inch. But maybe I was being dramatic. What kind of place is that? I don't know. I've never been there, or else she would have never come back. Duh. The girl shrugged innocently. But Mom will have to take you there if you misbehave. That didn't help. I had to get out of here. Running. First things first, had to try the classic way out. The door. I'll find your dad. I'll talk to him. You'll be able to go home. Wait for me here. No, no. The girl's voice trembled with outrage. You can't go without Mom. Otherwise, she won't be able to fix anything. Fix what? Everything. Mom says she wasn't careful enough. Now everything's like this. She's sad. She wants to make things right. Her words left me even more confused. What is this woman after? Is she trying to replace someone with me? Then why didn't the others work out? It was all twisting into tight, anxious knots, and I didn't want to unravel. Do not worry. I tried to smile. Mom won't find out. We'll be back really soon. In the hallway, the old woman still stood there, indifferent. The keys were in their usual spot. Looked like it was locked from the outside. I listened. Someone's coming down the stairs. Hey, I'm here. Help! I've been locked in. They're running away. I started knocking harder, but no one responded. Don't make noise. The girl's voice was angry. No one will answer anyways. My mom will get upset. Oh, let's hit this child with the child response. Why? Because Dad's older sister acted like that too. Then she got lost. Alright. Alright. Good evening, dear. The creaky old man's voice repeated. Do you know who I am? Nah. No, of course not. No need. His agreement came far too quickly. Let's get acquainted. How old are you? 22. Just a baby. Yeah, I'm not talking to some dickhead guy on the phone. You see, I'm your friend. I know it's hard to believe, but I assume you're currently in an apartment with a strange little girl, correct? Don't answer his questions. Who do you think she is? The daughter of the woman who knocked me before. You're right, and, as strange as it may sound, you need to wait for this woman to return. Uh-huh. She only wants you. Well, phone, that sucks. I hate that. I hate that for everyone here. You're with the police? Are you going to catch her? Who are you anyways? Are you working with her? No. I'm a police officer. What? Just do what she says, and everything will be fine soon. Now I have to go. Call this number if anything happens. And don't go anywhere. I felt I couldn't trust him. If only I could call my husband. I told you, we need a home game. The girl again. Alright, I got one. You'll be the princess who needs saving from the evil witch in the hallway, and I'll be the sorceress who comes to help. What do you think? The girl lit up. Hooray, let's play! Mommy doesn't really like it when I play like that with you, but we won't tell her, okay? Deal. You hide in the bedroom for now, and I'll stay here casting spells. No, I don't want to hide. I want to cast spells with you. That's correct. You know what? Well, you can't just bring the girl out and be like, yeah, you do all the lame stuff like hiding and I'm going to cast the spells. No, you want to cast spells together. It's dope. It's easier for me to do it alone, sweetheart, than to ask for your help. The spell is just too powerful. Hiding is your part of the mission. We have to work together for this spell to work. Alright, I'll listen. I had to act fast. We walked to the window. What? I walked to the window, opened, and shouted, "Help! I'm being held here. There's a child with me. Help!" Damn right. The window faced the courtyard. Mothers were playing with their kids. They'd build up an appetite before dinner. A group of teens sat on the bench. 2 men were chatting near a parked car. Just a few, mostly children, turned their heads toward me for a second, then went right back to what they were doing. I remembered what they teach you to yell when you're in danger. Hellfire were burning. This time, the response was even weaker. Only one little boy, still staring at me, walked to his mom and whispered something in her ear, then glanced back and forth between her and me. They must have thought it was a prank, chose to ignore it. I felt like I didn't exist. You're yelling again. Stop it. It's just part of the game. I'm calling for help so they rescue you from the witch. That's not how you get rescued from her. I'll show you. The girl took my hand. You gonna cast some wicked spells? I looked more closely at the old woman. She seemed even paler than before. Right up to her and realized there was no warmth coming off of her at all. She couldn't be alive. Standing before me was a pale, shriveled corpse of a person, just a shell, reacting only to simple external cues. She was staring right at me, motionless. I recoiled in fright, unable to look away from the old woman, who kept drilling into me with her unblinking gaze. You need to move her so she goes away. But I couldn't bring myself to touch her. Don't be scared, push her. With trembling hands, I touched the palms, and with some effort, I tried to gently push her. The old woman began resisting, pressing back against me. I couldn't hear her breathing. I could just feel the searing cold of her hands. I took another step, and in response, the old woman instantly relaxed. What is this? A mechanized scarecrow? A figment of a sick imagination that only human beings capable of? In despair, I swung both my hands, but instead of stepping back, the old woman swung back. Her face twisted with a determined grimace, and her fist flew straight at me. Now, it was my turn to defend. I blocked her blows with all my strength, trying to grab her hands, but again I met the icy cold. Damn. The old woman vanished, and the girl screamed. I looked at my palms, they were covered in blood. I needed to wash it off. In the bathroom, the old woman was staring at me again. Everything began to darken. The last thing I heard was the girl crying. Where is he? How long has it been since he called? Since I saw him? He said everything would be fine soon. He was supposed to be here. Call, husband. The number you have dialed is not in service. I have to try again. The number you have dialed is not in service. I feel a lump in my throat. What could have happened? That's right. Last time, he told me something about his work. Something happened. Some kind of incident. What did he call it? I have to find him. What? Search the apartment. We're calling the police. What's the emergency? I want to report a missing person. My husband, he went on an expedition, hasn't made contact since. I hear a quiet sigh and muffled tapping of keys. Your address and your husband's name. The address, yes, of course, the address. It's better if you identify it yourself by the phone number and name. Hello? Hello, did you hang up? They're not going to help. I need to write a missing person notice. That's what people do when someone disappears. Yes, good idea. People should know he's gone. They'll help me find him. Write the missing person notice. Missing person. My husband. His name. What does it matter what his name is? The important thing is to find him. Last night? No. A week ago? But does that really matter? What happens? What matters is what he hasn't called. I have to put the notice up. Quickly. You're wandering again. The little girl suddenly emerged from deep within the house. Who are you, sweetheart? What's your name? What took you so long? She's confused again. That woman. This couldn't go on any longer. She needs to go. I don't run from conflict, but I don't seek it without cause. I want resolution, not a fight. I'll find the words to make her leave, and if not, I'll find another civilized way to remove her. But first, we need to understand why she keeps coming back. What's going on here? So, we're meeting again for the first time. Her stare grew more focused. I crumpled the notice in my hand without thinking, and she noticed right away. First, explain what's going on. We're your family. What kind of nonsense is that? You see, this is you. We replaced the mirror. We'll be more careful to keep it slid back from now on. The longer it stares into the mirror, the stronger the heavy sense of recognition became. But maybe it was some kind of trick. This can't be me. I'm only 24? Who is that woman? You always say that, Grandma, but we love you anyways. They weren't surprised. They weren't confused. My stomach tightened. A flare of panic lit up in my chest. Mom, Dad's been gone for over 40 years. The woman looked at me with a mild, tired sympathy. This isn't the first time you've written that notice. Please give it to me. Let's go have dinner. No, that's not true. I remember us talking. He asked me, did you get the little statue I sent you? And I really like the statue. Yes, it's adorable. It's a replica from this dig or the last one. The last one. They ordered a whole batch for the artists. Too bad there weren't any video Too bad there wasn't video chat back then, so I couldn't show him. Or was there? What year is it again? I wish I could see the original with you. To look at it and think, my husband found this with his own hands. Too bad there's no plaque. And it's good that there isn't. I've always felt awkward when there's too much to talk about, or when I'm praised. He simply couldn't have answered any other way. And then that woman came. Why did he tell me how to get rid of her? Why didn't he tell me how to get rid of her? So we could just finish our conversation. He would have sensed something was wrong and given some advice, like he always did. Ask her politely to go. I'm sure she'll understand. And she would have left. And we would have talked and talked. Mom, are you with us? You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Leave me alone. Don't say anything. This worries me. I'm calling now. Just sit here for a bit, Mom, and you set the table. Okay, Mom. Hello? How are things on your end? I'm afraid worse. Today neither reminds nor what? Neither reminders nor reflection are working. She just froze. I don't know what to do. You don't have to manage this alone. Why taint your last memories of your mother when the end is already looming? All the paperwork with the clinic is signed. They know where you are. One call and they'll be there. Your only task is to be happy for your daughter. I know. But I want to be with her. I want to care for her myself, not visit once a week in some facility. Tell me what I can do, not what you would. There was a long sigh on the other end of the line. It's your choice. I still think it's a good option. She'll be looked after around the clock, and you'll have more energy for yourself and your daughter. Woman ignored the remark. All right. Describe how she's behaving. She's calm in her own way. She expresses her thoughts and feelings clearly, without excessive aggression, but also without too much compromise. She orients herself first, then acts. Perhaps the mirror incident is the only exception. Otherwise, I'd say she reacts reasonably to what she sees. The problem is exactly what she sees. She relives her last conversation with Dad over and over. It looks like an obsessive thought. Do you think she would agree with this description of herself? Yes. Good. At least she still has some true sense of who she is. I understand. I have some ideas of what to do. Let me schedule for a morning appointment when she's usually in a better state. But what should I do right now? How should I behave? What if she gets worse because I do something wrong? I'm doing everything right. But even the right choices don't always lead to positive results. Alright, thank you. See you tomorrow. The call ended. The woman looked at me and tiredly left the room. In my head, I heard that familiar voice again. Hi, how are you feeling? But I already knew it didn't exist. I let the voice flow, trying to imagine every detail that could have been in our conversation, every detail except his name, which I'd forgotten. I know, we never called again. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, waiting for you. You couldn't just... I know how much you want this to be true. I wish I could be there too. But you are here. You're talking. I hear you. Everything is okay, right? Everything is okay. I'm always with you, dear. My lips trembled. But it's not just me here. Look around. Our family, they're here, waiting for you to let them in. Memories surfaced, then scattered like dry leaves to the wind. I have to choose them, not me. Well, you have to choose them, not me. How? Go to those who wait for you, and those who live for you now. Don't hold on. Sounds like it's not a request. It's inevitable. In my ears, the sound of the last dial tone flickers. Grandma, shall we have dinner? I've already prepared everything. She stands and waits. Just waits for me. Suddenly, it gets a little easier. The phone disappears as if it was never there. But now, it's not scary anymore. Yes, dinner sounds like a good idea. Dinner time! The smell. The air smells like something familiar, like home. Everything is fine. What a cozy room. Calm. But somehow different. Not mine. And I'm here for the first time? A sofa, a nightstand, a table, a phone. Is this mine? Probably. I live here, right? But something is missing. Inspect the nightstand. No statue. The nightstand's empty. Why does that feel strange? Something is lost. My hand finds a smooth surface. A slight wear on the wood. Has it been here long? But what? I close my eyes, trying to remember. Nothing. Only silence. If I don't remember, it must not matter. Go where? The walls are cold to the touch. The fingers slowly glide over the surface as if trying to recall a familiar texture, but nothing comes. Footsteps echo loudly in the corridor. The space feels empty. too big. Why is it so strange? Why so unfamiliar? The mirror. Something is looking from it. Grandma. Do I know her? My hand slowly reaches out, touches the glass, cold. So it's real. The face is unfamiliar. Is this me? Wrinkled hands, dry skin, bluish veins? Have I always looked like this? The reflection is silent. Somewhere deep in my chest, a familiar feeling rises, but it dissolves like fog. No name, no memory, only emptiness. My eyes lose focus. The gaze slides over the glass, but nothing catches anymore. Just an object, just a reflection. Why am I here? Is someone there? Oh yeah, dinner time. Warmth. The smell of something edible. Milk, porridge. The air is thick, dense, as if absorbing the sound around. At the table, a woman sits. She's doing something. Leaning over the table. Next to her, little girl. A spoon in her hand, quietly eating. Too quiet. Why such silence? There should always be noise in the kitchen. Conversation, shouldn't there? But it doesn't really matter how to behave with them. Oh, but does it really matter how to behave with them? Still, this is better than having no choice at all. Morning. The woman turned around. Her eyes scanned my face critically. The girl ate silently. Good morning. I sat down at the table. My hands found the spoon. I moved out of habit, but... Did you sleep well? The words wrapped around me like a warm blanket. Familiar, comfortable. But I couldn't place whose voice it was. Slept well? Spoon touches my lips. Porridge, warm, ordinary. Probably something I've always eaten. Probably. Today's a nice day, isn't it, Grandma? Grandma? My head spins slightly. Everything feels too dense, heavy, like a thick fog. Yes. I'm gonna glance at the child. That same tense, stern one. Don't disturb her. I won't. Sorry. The girl nods. The spoon slowly raises to her mouth and lowers back to the bowl. Everything happens quietly, restrained. Something inside tightens. Why does it feel so sad? What are we gonna do? We'll play today. Warmth spreads through my chest. How wonderful. Today we would play. I needed to finish my porridge quickly and what? Then my thought slipped away, like a thread slipping through my fingers. What was I even thinking about? The spoon was in my hand, the bowl before me. Something important, something pleasant. I lowered my gaze to the bowl. The main thing was to finish the porridge. The rest didn't matter. Outside the window, it's bright. The yard. People are walking somewhere. Who are they? Where to? A beautiful day. Yes, Mom, a beautiful day. You stayed with your daughter and your granddaughter. You navigated the situation with relative calm and confidence, even if you didn't understand everything. Your daughter decides she can still manage caring for you. You don't know who she is, but you feel comfortable beside this woman. You were able to accept your husband's death even if you don't remember him. Your soul feels more at peace now. Alright, well that was Invisible Wall, one of the endings. Apparently there's 3 endings. Well, thanks to whoever sent me that key. I'm guessing it's probably one of the devs or something like that. And thank you very much. Thanks everyone for coming out here. That was a good time. And yeah, pick up Invisible Wall on Steam if you feel like it. I mean, they sent me a key. They didn't tell me anything. They dropped this right at my door. They knocked on my door. I didn't know what was going on. They don't know what's going on. Either way, pretty cool game. Very very solid little visual novel. Catch you in the next one, and bye for now.